My girlfriend said, "Don't be selfish," I replied. "If that's how you feel, enjoy the night." Then I drove home, deleted 6 wedding voicemails, sent "We're done," moved my stuff out while she worked, and saved the burner number threat before she showed up again after Jake failed her. You're listening to WZ Tales. This story is about a man who was told not to embarrass his girlfriend at her cousin's wedding, then got pushed aside so her male best friend could take his place. Ask yourself when you would have stopped trying to earn respect from someone who kept handing it to someone else. I'm 28, and for most of my adult life, I thought being steady was a strength nobody could fake appreciation for. I work in IT consulting. I show up on time, handle my responsibilities, keep my promises, and try not to make other people's lives harder. In a healthy relationship, that should count for something. With Sarah, it did count, but mostly when she needed something. We were together for 2 years. For a long time, I thought we were building something real. Early on, she lost a freelance gig and money got tight. I covered rent for a few months without making a speech about it, helped her update her portfolio, reached out to contacts and found interview leads. When she got evicted from her old place, I canceled a weekend mountain trip with my friends and helped move her into mine. At the time, I told myself that was just what love looked like. Maybe sometimes it is, but only when the care runs both ways. Sarah used to call me her rock. Usually after a hard day, usually after I had helped her through something, usually right after I had made her life easier. At the time, I thought that meant she valued me. Looking back, I think she valued what I did for her more than who I was. That distinction takes people a long time to see. There was also Jake, Sarah's male best friend from college, a salesman, good-looking in that polished, easy way, always posting pictures from events, rooftop bars, day trips, concerts. He had that natural charm some people mistake for character. Sarah always swore it was platonic. "Jake's like a brother," she'd say whenever I brought up how much time they spent together, but she lit up when he texted, and the comparisons started creeping in. "Jake's so outgoing. Jake always knows how to work a room. Why can't you be more spontaneous like him?" It was never a full attack. Just these little cuts dressed up as casual comments. Enough to make me question myself, not enough to make me feel justified calling it out. That's how a lot of disrespect works. It doesn't arrive as one big betrayal. It shows up as a pattern of smaller ones until you stop trusting your own reaction. She posted pictures with him too. Coffee shops, local events, random afternoons out, captions about her favorite adventure buddy. Not once did she post about me that way. I was the one covering bills, helping with life, showing up when things broke. Jake got the sparkle. I got the labor. Still, I stayed. Then came her cousin's wedding. Big family event. Beautiful venue in a small town about an hour away. Outdoor ceremony, fancy reception hall, string lights, the kind of place people photograph more than they experience. Sarah had been excited about it for weeks. I was too, honestly. I had met most of her family before, and things always seemed fine with them. I rented a good suit, bought a thoughtful gift for the couple, even practiced a few dance steps because Sarah loved dancing and I wanted to make the night feel good for her. But the week leading up to it, she got strange, snappy over little things, critical in that casual way she sometimes used when she wanted control without looking controlling. "Don't wear that tie. It looks too stuffy. Try not to be awkward with my aunt." Then of course she mentioned Jake was coming too, family friend, no surprise there. The morning of the wedding she was on her phone constantly, smiling, giggling, tilting the screen away. I caught a glimpse once. It was Jake sending memes about weddings. I let it go. I had let a lot go by then. The ceremony itself was beautiful. Sarah held my hand, smiled for pictures, leaned on my shoulder during the vows. If you saw us then, you would have thought everything was fine. Then cocktail hour started. She pulled me aside away from the crowd and her whole face changed. Not angry, not nervous, just that smug little expression she got when she thought she was about to correct me. "Listen, Alex," she said, glancing around, "don't embarrass me tonight, okay?" I actually thought I had heard her wrong. "What do you mean?" She sighed like I was already being difficult. "You know what I mean. This is a big deal for my family. Jake's great at mingling. He knows how to charm people, just try to blend in." I stared at her. "I'm here to support you." She rolled her eyes. "Your job stories are kind of boring. IT stuff doesn't exactly light up a wedding. You get quiet and weird sometimes. Jake's funny. He keeps conversations going. If we're talking to my family, just let him take the lead." That hit harder than I expected. I had listened to her complain about work for hours, encouraged her, helped her prep interviews, covered for her when life got messy. And now I was being pre-labeled as the boring problem she needed to manage in public. At that point, what would you have done? I wish I could say I pushed back right there. I didn't. I just swallowed it and nodded because I still thought getting through the night mattered more than defending myself in the moment. Then the reception started and somehow it got worse. We were assigned to a table near the dance floor with her immediate family. Parents, brother, aunt, uncle. It was the obvious place for me to sit. I was her boyfriend. We came together. Simple. I was talking politely with her mom when Sarah waved me over with that urgent look people use when they expect immediate compliance. Jake was standing beside her, smiling. "Babe," she said quietly, "there's been a mix-up with seating. Jake's supposed to be at a terrible table in the back. Can you switch with him? He fits better here. My family loves him, you won't mind, right? It's just for dinner." For a second, I genuinely thought she had to be joking. "Our table?" I asked. "Why does Jake need my seat?" She sighed again, already annoyed. "Come on, don't make this a thing. Jake's outgoing. He'll keep the energy up. You're more introverted. It's one night." Then she added, like this would somehow make it more reasonable, "He's had a rough breakup. He could use the family vibe." That line told me everything. I was not her partner in that moment. I was the easiest person to displace, the most convenient sacrifice, the one expected to understand, adjust, and disappear quietly so someone more fun could step into my place. And the worst part was how normal she thought it was. "Seriously, Alex," she said, crossing her arms, "don't be selfish. This is my cousin's wedding. Jake's practically family. You'll survive a couple hours alone." Her family had started glancing over by then. Jake stood there with this faint, satisfied smirk like he already knew how it would go. I felt the heat rise in my face, but I did not yell, I did not argue. I just looked at her and said, "If that's how you feel, enjoy the night." Then I turned and walked away. No scene, no dramatic speech, no begging her to reconsider, just done. Sometimes the healthiest choice is the quietest one. By the time I got to the parking lot, my phone was already vibrating. I didn't check it yet. I got in the car and drove. That hour home felt longer than it really was. I kept replaying everything. The comparisons, the posts with Jake, the little digs, the way she always seemed to frame my steadiness like it was useful in private and embarrassing in public. And for the first time, I saw the pattern clearly. I was not the man she was proud to be with. I was the man she leaned on while chasing attention somewhere else. By the time I pulled into the apartment lot, my phone was full of texts and voicemails. "Alex, where are you? This is ridiculous. Come back. Why are you doing this to me?" I sat in the car and listened to the voicemails one by one. The first was irritated. "What the hell, Alex? You just left. I didn't mean it like that. Jake's just better at social stuff. Call me back." The second was more annoyed. "You're ruining the night for me. My family's asking where you went. This is embarrassing." The third tried to soften. "Okay, I get that you're upset, but it's not a big deal. Jake's sitting here now, but whatever, just talk to me." The fourth had the first real crack in it. "I'm sorry if it came out wrong. You know I love you, don't do this." The fifth was more desperate. "Why are you ignoring me? This hurts. Please just talk." The sixth was sobbing. "I'm freaking out. Please call me. I need to know you're okay. I messed up." Listening to all six back to back changed something in me. Because even in the apology, she wasn't really naming what she did. She was upset the night had gone off script. Upset her family was asking questions. Upset the image cracked. Not sorry for humiliating me. There's a difference, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. I deleted all 6 voicemails, went inside, packed a bag, and slept at a motel. The next morning, I unblocked her long enough to send one text. "We're done. I'll move my stuff out this week. Don't contact me." Then I blocked her again. No long explanation, no debate, no invitation for her to reframe it. That day, I called in sick to work and went to the gym instead. I had been neglecting it because Sarah always wanted time together, and somehow my routines were the first thing to go whenever the relationship needed more from me. I lifted until my arms shook and my chest burned. It helped, not because exercise fixes heartbreak, but because sometimes your body needs to remember it still belongs to you. Over the next few days, I moved my things out in stages while she was at work. The lease was in my name, so the apartment stayed mine. I handled it cleanly. No online drama, no messy friend group speeches, no revenge posts. I just detached, and once I started detaching, clarity came fast. Sarah had not just chosen Jake at the wedding. She had been choosing the version of herself she felt with him for a long time. I was there for stability, rent, support, and emotional cleanup. Jake was there for excitement, validation, and social sparkle. She wanted both, and she expected me to keep accepting that arrangement. About a week later, I started hearing updates through mutual friends. I never asked, but information moves. Sarah stayed at the wedding and danced with Jake all night, posted stories like everything was perfect, family vibes, best night ever. But apparently even there, people noticed how weird it was. Jake got handsy. Her cousin pulled her aside. Her mom asked where I had gone. Questions started building. Then Jake showed exactly who he was. He had been using Sarah to get access to her family connections. Networking, sales leads, warm intros. Once she pushed for something more after the wedding, he pulled away. Then came the fight. Then the ugly messages. "You're fun for a night, but too much drama. Stick with your boring boyfriend if you want stability." Those screenshots made the rounds in their circle, and suddenly the man she kept elevating over me sounded exactly like what he was. Not exciting, just shallow. Sarah's life started unraveling after that. Family drama, work problems, friends distancing themselves. Her mom, who had always been polite to me, apparently told her she had treated me terribly. Her cousin unfollowed her. She missed deadlines at work and got put on probation. She overspent trying to distract herself. Ended up crashing on her brother's couch when it became clear I wasn't taking her back. I didn't celebrate any of that, but I won't lie and say it meant nothing. Sometimes karma doesn't look dramatic, it just looks like reality arriving all at once. She didn't stop trying to reach me either. First there were burner numbers, then email, then messages through friends. One voicemail said, "That seating thing was stupid. I was stressed." "Jake's just a friend. You overreacted by leaving like that." Overreacted. That word told me we still weren't living in the same truth. Then her friends started reaching out. Give her a chance to explain. She's a mess. You guys are good together. Her brother wanted to grab a beer and talk it out. Then her mom called and actually tried to shame me. "She's sorry," she said. "You're being childish. People make mistakes." Not one word about what Sarah did to me. Only about how hard the fallout was on Sarah. That is another pattern worth noticing. Some families don't protect truth. They protect the person creating the damage and pressure everyone else to be mature enough to absorb it. I blocked them too. One night Sarah came to the apartment and pounded on the door. "Alex, please open up. Jake's a jerk. I see that now." "You were right. Let's just talk." I stayed silent, because by then I understood something important. When someone comes back only after the exciting option fails, they are not choosing you. They are returning to the nearest safe place. A few days later, the anger version showed up. Another voicemail, new number. "You think you can just ignore me after all I've put up with? Jake was a mistake, but you're overreacting. Pick up or I'll show up at your work." That one I saved just in case, not because I was scared. Because people who flip that fast from apology to threat are telling you who they are more clearly than they ever do in calm moments. 2 months later, I ran into her at a mutual friend's birthday party. By then, my life felt different. I had gotten a promotion at work. I was back in the gym consistently. I had started hiking again, and I had met someone new through a hiking group. Emily. No drama, no performance, no weird power games, just a woman who listened, laughed, showed up, and never once made me feel like being stable was something to apologize for. We walked into that party together. Sarah saw us almost immediately. She looked rough in a way that had nothing to do with makeup or hair. More like life had finally stopped bending around her, and she didn't know what to do without that. She came over while Emily and I were standing near the bar. "Alex, can we talk privately?" I shook my head. "No need." She ignored Emily completely and rushed forward with the speech she had probably been rehearsing for weeks. "I've been a wreck. Jake used me. He yelled at me, ghosted me, embarrassed me. I lost friends. My job is a mess. I realize now what I had with you. I was stupid. Please let me make it up to you. We can start over." I looked at her and felt almost nothing. Not hatred, not revenge, just distance. Because once respect dies, love doesn't always turn into rage. Sometimes it just turns into indifference. I said, "You made your priorities clear that night. Jake fit better. Remember?" Her face tightened. I kept going. "I found what fits me. My life moved on. You should focus on yours." She started crying. "But I love you." "Doesn't that mean anything?" I said. "It means you learned a lesson, that's all." And that was it. She turned and left a little later. I stayed, danced with Emily, laughed with friends, went home without carrying anyone else's chaos on my back. It's been months now. Sarah is still drifting from what I hear. New job, smaller life, family distance, less attention, more consequences. I don't follow it closely. Emily and I are official. We're planning a trip together soon, nothing flashy, just something real, and that's enough for me. The wedding night used to replay in my head like an open wound. Now it feels more like a turning point. Painful, yes, but useful. It forced me to stop mistaking sacrifice for connection. It forced me to see that being needed is not the same as being respected. And it forced me to understand that the quiet, reliable guy should not have to beg to be treated like the actual partner. I walked away with dignity. That mattered more than I realized at the time. Lesson 1. If someone keeps comparing you to another person, they are already teaching you where you stand in their mind. Lesson 2. Being stable does not make you boring. To the right person, stability feels safe, mature, and attractive. Lesson 3. When someone apologizes only after their image cracks or their backup plan fails, pay attention to what they are really mourning. Lesson 4. You do not have to make a dramatic scene to protect your self-respect. Quiet exits can say everything. Lesson 5. Being the dependable one is only healthy when the care goes both ways. Otherwise, you are not in a partnership. You are in a support role. What would you have done at that wedding when she tried to give your seat to her male best friend? And if someone came back only after the person they chose over you let them down, would you hear that as love or just regret?